We're back, everyone. We're going to do the last part of today's study, which is known as how does transhumanism connect to end times prophecy. So now we're going to do the last couple of clips I have here. First, this is a documentary, and all credit goes to Face Like the Sun. He originally released this documentary. The first one was called Age of Deceit. Back in 2011, I think it was. This one came out about 2014, as you can see here from my Prime Video, my personally owned version of Alchemy and the Rise of the Beast, Disc 3. So we're going to do Disc 2 first, and I'm going to see, we got, so here we go. So,
quote, "Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, and as yet there was none of them."
Rewind this a little bit.
Humans lost in the garden, and to be like God.
Hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, the creator of the universe, right? And you shall be as gods. They already were. They were made in the image and likeness of God. So the three promises of the serpent, they already had, and they took a bite and they lost all three. And man has been trying to get it back ever since, apart from God. I think the real agenda of transhumanism is to get back the three things that humans lost in the garden, and to be like God. Achieve immortality apart from God, have supernatural ability, become the gods of the ancient world. That's the agenda. That's what they're working on, and it's happening. It's happening very quickly, and we need to be aware of it.
Okay, here, and I'm going to fast forward a little bit.
And who experimented with DMT and other psychoactive mind-expanding drugs and made contact with the...
Hold on. There we go.
Terence McKenna, who was the scientist who was the originator of time wave theory and novelty theory, and who experimented with DMT and other psychoactive mind-expanding drugs and made contact with the Greys and the ETs and all the rest of them, but then would have to come down off his high and come back to this reality, speculated that in the very near future, via human enhancement, we will no longer need these psychoactive drugs because we'll alter our brains to put ourselves in contact.
It is very important because now we're facing the time where unconscious evolution period has almost finished, and we come to the new era when new period of controlled human evolution can happen. I think that main efforts of their scientists and main technological progress will be concentrated on their making new body for the human being. So the first step is to make human-like robot, which we call avatar, and to make their perfect control system via brain-computer interface. The second,
you got a blank screen, Doug.
Develop
blank screen. Okay. All right. Let me try to fix that. Thank you for letting me know. Let me see here. Okay.
System of human.
All right. So how long was it on a blank screen?
The whole time that he was talking. I recognized Tom Horn's voice. I didn't recognize the other voice.
Oh, okay. Let me go back then. Let me go back and replay the whole thing then. All right, here we go. Let's see, I think it's like right at 2-minute point. There we go. Okay.
No pictures come up yet.
No picture has come up yet? Are you sure it's not your side? Because it's saying it's on screen share. Sally,
no, I don't have a picture either.
What is going on here? I'm putting it on screen share twice already. You should be able to see this.
All right, it just says shared screen, so let's try it again. No picture.
Terence McKenna, who was the scientist.
Why is it not showing for you guys? I'm seeing it on shared screen from my computer. And it's playing and everything. That's not good.
I don't know.
I'm hoping it's going to go through. I mean, it should go through because it's looking like the same thing like it does on every time. So it doesn't look any different.
I'm just letting you know from our perspective.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just hoping it goes through because there's nothing else I can do. If not, then they're just going to hear the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, all right, so this is Tom Horn speaking right now, just in case you don't see any video, and he's going to be talking about what happened to these guys these scientists that use DMT and these psychoactive drugs, and basically he's talking about in the history that they want to basically plug their brains to AI computers so that they don't have to come back to being sober, basically, is what he's about to talk about.
Who was the originator of time wave theory and novelty theory, and who experimented with DMT and other psychoactive mind-expanding drugs and made contact with the Greys and the ETs and all the rest of them, but then would have to come down off his high and come back to this reality, speculated that in the very near future, via human enhancement, we won't no longer need these psychoactive drugs because we'll alter our brains to put ourselves in contact.
It is very important because now we're facing the time where unconscious evolution period has almost finished, and we come to the new era when new period of controlled human evolution can happen. I think that main efforts of their scientists and main technological progress will be concentrated on their making new body for the human being. So the first step is to make
so anyone that can't see the screen right now, the screen's not being shown. I'm just pausing it to let you know who's speaking right now. This is Dmitry Itskov. He is, I guess, one of the leaders at 2045.com, which is the 2045 initiative about making an avatar, a real-life avatar, like the movie Avatar, for your human brain to be in, to have a permanent new body when you die, so that you can live forever another way instead of accepting Yahusha. So these scientists are trying to find a way to basically live it, be immortal without Yahusha, without Yahuwah's salvation. So that's basically what he's about to talk about.
Like robot, which we call avatar, and to make their perfect control system via brain-computer interface. The second step will be to develop their system of human brain life support and to connect it to the avatar. So disabled people and people who are at the edge of dying can enhance their lifespan. And the third one, finally making the artificial brain to which we can transfer the individual consciousness. And we have one more project, which is actually our dream. It is producing hologram-like avatar body.
Supercomputer ができて Alright, so that's it for that clip. I'm gonna go now to, let's see, skip. Alright, so did that part. Alright, so let's go to 5 minutes in. They're 5 minutes and 20 seconds in. You're gonna have Michio Kaku is the next speaker here. Listen to what he has to say.
Is that at some distant point in the future, when robots do become gradually more intelligent, instead of fearing them, we should either put a chip in their brain to shut them off if they get murderous, or we should merge with them. Because our descendants may have a choice. A, get older and older every year and die, or B, wake up in an enhanced, genetically enhanced body of silicon and glass and live forever. So if you were faced with that choice, live a decrepit life, aging year after year, or be a Superman, young, handsome, virulent, and immortal, which would you choose?
We humans might decide to upload ourselves into computer memory banks, which will then go out and colonize nearby stars. They will be virtual humans, not humans at the lowest level of reality, which is what we now are, but you might think of a spiritualized aspect of ourselves. This is solid science.
All right, so that's enough of that. Let's go to the 25-minute mark. All right, let's see who's the next speaker here. Let's see. Fast forward to the 25-minute mark. And here we go. Here we go. So I put it here because I wanted to read this quote here from Isaac Newton in Transmutation of Alchemy. Philip Ashley Fanning is the one that wrote this book, I guess. It says, the so-called medicine of the metals, the stone was thought able to cure supposed diseases of base metals such as lead and tin, thereby enabling them to perfect metals, silver and gold. Similarly, it was seen as the elixir of life, able to heal man's ills and postpone death. Most importantly, the stone could help a person merge with the divine spirit that pervaded the universe. In the process, let's see here, it's blocking this little corner here. In the process, becoming God-like himself, a Magnus. Alchemists viewed the philosopher's stone as the key to all knowledge. So here you go, you got transhumanism being connected to alchemy. So this is the whole idea too, is they think by basically combining themselves with machines, a man will become a god himself. That's the whole idea behind this. This is why we're exposing this. So hopefully you viewers and listeners can understand. This is why I wanted to show you this quote here. Again, this quote is from the person Philip Ashley Fanning, Isaac Newton and the Transmutation of Alchemy. So anyone that wants to look that up for themselves, that's the book he has that quote in. Okay, so now we're going to go to our last little clip here from this documentary at the 53-minute mark, and we're going to let it play until the 101-minute mark, so about a little 8-minute clip from the end of this here. So let's see here, 53. Okay, here we go. All right.
IBM was a pair of cognitive chips built on the nanoscale to simulate brain memory functions.
Trying to bring together neuroscience, supercomputing, and nanotechnology.
All right, so this guy's another speaker, and he's another scientist about to talk about nanotechnology. So,
to create a radically different computer architecture that mimics the function, low power, small size, and real time of the human brain. Modern computers, because of their sequential, symbolic nature, can be likened to the left brain, whereas the human brain is capable of parallel, short, complex thinking, and it can be likened to the right brain. While on one hand, our competitors are chasing the tail end of the left brain computers, IBM is opening up entirely new way of computing, thinking, and serving our customers, thereby giving rise to a continuum of architectures between the left brain von Neumann machines and the right brain cognitive computers. We have created breakthrough chips at the scale of a worm brain, and now we are on the path to create a new true north chip at the scale of B brain.
Horizon 2020 is the biggest EU research and innovative program ever, with over $100 billion in funding available over 7 years from 2014 to 2020. The program aims to fund the development of various technologies such as 3D printing, medical robotics, and nanotechnology, and has specifically applied over $2 billion towards the Human Brain Project to not only map the brain, but to also create the platform for future developments such as neural implants and mind uploading devices. The EU Enhanced Project has also, in conjunction with the Europe 2045 initiative, has begun development of what is called the Augmented Learning Environment, which entails an educational platform that incorporates current online multiplayer RPGs with social role-playing games to facilitate a digital educational environment for students. Aldebaran Robotics in Paris, France, says that according to the United Nations, robotics will be the technological revolution of the 21st century. Thus, this group is working with the current platforms of interactive technologies to provide the first commercialized autonomous humanoid robots.
All right. So now that's the end of that clip. I only have one more left, and that would be from disk 3, which it seems like there was some problems with the share screen. Let me try something different. I'm going to actually try to share it from a different browser, from Google Chrome. Maybe that will help. I don't know. There might have been a compatibility issue with the Opera browser, possibly. So I'm going to try doing that. Let's see here. Let me try to minimize this screen here and get out of the Opera browser. Let's see here. And it's only like a 1-minute clip. It's going to be from the 36-minute mark to the 37-minute mark, so it's going to be a very short clip. Here we go. Google Chrome. Let's try this. Hopefully that will fix the issue. Other than that, I might have to contact Zoom and ask them why that's happening if this doesn't work. So, let's see here. All right, so hopefully this is actually showing on the screen right now, and I'll just read you. So far it is? All right, could be the browser. That could have been the problem. All right.
Not showing, it's not. Oh, there it is. Now it might come on.
Yeah. So let me see. Continue watching. Disk 3. Okay. All right.
Another, come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. They had bricks for stone and bitumen.
So once it starts playing, you're not seeing it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I really hope Zoom is not doing some copyright crud where they're not allowing people to see it, because it's weird, because I own this. This is purchased. Like, you shouldn't even be doing that. I could understand if it was a random video from YouTube. The funny thing is YouTube actually allows me to show it. That's kind of funny that, yeah, that's going to take too much time to try to find them what it would be on the YouTube videos. That would take too long. So I guess we'll just have audio here. It's only a 1-minute clip anyway.
The cloud, of which humanity will be permanently tapped into. The other possibility is that with the advent of transhumanism, demons would be able to inhabit bio-cybernetic hosts, such as the chimeras currently being developed in the laboratories, to literally, physically manifest.
Yes.
Some people ask, does the Bible talk about transhumanism in the last days? Are there going to be hybrids in the last days? Is there any evidence for it in the Bible? Yeah, actually there is. Go to Isaiah chapter 13, verses 21 and 22, and it talks about wild beasts there in Babylon shall be there, and owls and doleful creatures and stuff like that. But it also says satyrs shall dance there in Babylon, ancient Babylon, in last days context. And if you look in the Septuagint version of Isaiah 13, 21 and 22, it gets even more graphic, and says that monsters will be there and devils will be there and satyrs. Yeah, the Joel 2 army, the locusts, the Joel 2 army, I'm convinced they are the locusts of Revelation 9.
I believe these developments were sought after once before at the Tower of Babel. Genesis 11, 1-9 states, quote, "Now the whole earth had one language and the same words. And as people migrated from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. And they had bricks for stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of man had built. And the Lord said, behold, they are one people, and they have all one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. And nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, so that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord dispersed them from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Therefore, its name was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord dispersed them over the face of all the earth. There is a lot to get from this passage. First, the world was one language. With the advent of digital communication, the world is quickly returning to one language. Ones and zeros. Second, they built a city with a tower with its tops in the heavens. While this can mean literally the sky sky, or even outer space, it's possible that they were trying to reach the next dimension. Then the Lord saw the tower and said, "This is only the beginning of what they will do, and nothing that they propose to do will not be impossible for them." If God declares that nothing they propose will be impossible for them, I would imagine that whatever was being built at the Tower of Babel had much less to do with simply a tower made of bricks and mortar, but one that literally tore open the veil that is set in place between the physical and spiritual world, so as to allow Satan and his demons to come destroy the earth once more, as he tried to back in Genesis 6. Because Satan's plans were thwarted by God back in the days of Babel, it seems his approach became more subtle and gradual as it pertains to his agenda. As such, the developments of the mysteries became a vital necessity for Satan in order to preserve his plans until the time came. And the time is now. Part of the practices for any kind of sorcery or magic has involved hallucinogenic drugs. From the shamans of old to the CIA-constructed drug movement of the 1960s, drugs like DMT, ayahuasca, and psilocybin have been key ingredients in opening up gateways in the mind to spiritual dimensions where entities dwell.
But even in my...
All right, so that's the end of that clip I wanted to show. So, again, that shows that the hive mind has a lot to do with drugs and transhumanism and stuff like that. So hopefully the video did go through somehow. If not, I will try to fix it for you guys. I know it didn't go on your guys' side. I'm more talking about like actually on the recording. If it didn't go through, then I'm going to have to find out what's going on. If there's copyright issues, I'll find out. But, I mean, it literally says I own this movie, but, you know, whatever. So, anyway, if that's the case, then from now on, I'm going to have to use YouTube version videos, and I can't use my own videos, which I think is stupid, but whatever. Hopefully at least the sound came through. You understood what these speakers were talking about and the reality of this that's going to happen in the end time, that a lot of this is going to have to do with what they know as the singularity. That's another aspect of this, okay? So, you know, like the movie The Matrix is a perfect example. That's going to be actually happening. You know, humans... basically humans will, some humans will willfully give themselves to be part of the beast system, part of the singularity. So they'll be taking the mark of the beast and no longer, like the one speaker said from earlier today, they will no longer be human. They will be dead in a sense, because they will no longer be what Yahuwah created them to be. So hopefully this message was a baraka to you, and hopefully this message was a way for us to reach out to you and warn you about the truth of the end times and why it's important to study for end times. If there's any Christians that came on today, this is why you need to study the book of Revelations. This is why each and every one of us need to study end times and why it's important. This is something possibly your pastor has been ignoring and not teaching the congregation, because in cemetery school, they don't really harp on teaching this to the congregation, teaching end times prophecy, because they look at it like Revelations can't be understood, that you can't understand Revelations. No one can understand Revelations. So hopefully this is encouragement for you to read scripture for yourself. Everyone that's came by this study today, please read scripture for yourself. Please consider the scriptures we have brought up. And I want to give this time and unmute all of my brothers and sisters here, Brother Dennis, Sister Sally, Sister Shoshana. If you have anything to say to the audience before we end today, go ahead.
I have a song I'd like to share.
Sure.
I'll let Dennis and Sally speak first if they want to.
Yep.
Everything sounded pretty good to me.
Yep. Sally, I think you got to unmute yourself, because I've been trying, and for some reason it's not unmuting from my side. I've been clicking like 4 or 5 different times, and it's just not doing it. So if you want to add anything, just unmute from your side. You should be able to unmute from your phone. from the app. If not, I guess we can start Shoshana's song. All right. All right, well, go ahead, sis.
It's called As It Was in the Days of Noah.
Right. Perfect song for what we were just studying about.
And guess what? The the sound turned itself off.
AI.
This is the day for technical problems, I tell you.
Stupid AI. No, the daemon in it got mad. Oh, they're exposing us. Oh, no, we're not going to cooperate with them.
Okay, let's try again.
All right, here we go. Let me mute myself.
As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the end of days, when the watchers came down and raped our women, whoever they chose. Giants were born from them, the mighty men of old, men of old. And the giants ruled over men, oppressing them, eating all the fruit of the land. And when the fruit was gone, they cannibalized the women and men. Babies and children were not exempt. There was weeping throughout the land. Don't you know that they're coming back again at the end of days? Take warning, for the time is now. The Nephilim are here, and soon to be released on an unsuspecting world. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the end of days, when the watchers came down and raped our women, whomever they chose. Giants were born from them, the mighty men of old, men of old. Do not take the mark of the beast, or you shall be tortured day and night before the Lamb. They have no rest at all. They worship the beast, these women and men. Here's the endurance of Yah's sheep. They are guarding Yahweh's commands. Don't you know that our King's coming back again at the end of the age? Take courage, for the time is now.
to watch and pray, and hope that we might be counted worthy to escape. Take courage, for the time is now.
Hallelujah. That went well, sis. It went through very well. It was a little low when it started, but I think that was because Dennis was not muted, and I forgot to mute him from before when you started, so that kind of interfered. But then once I muted him, you sounded pretty loud. Your voice actually sounded loud, so I just got to remember that for next time when you're singing a song that we have everyone muted, because it kind of like his background, I guess, drowned out your voice somehow. So that's something I didn't realize from before. But yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Sister Shoshana, any last thoughts? I didn't want to cut you off there. Any last thoughts?
I just was going to say the most important part was at the end. So as long as they got that, I think that's what we wanted.
Yeah. So hopefully, I know there was a lot we said today, so hopefully you at least got the most important parts of it. Do not corrupt his image. All right. Do not merge yourself with machines. Do not merge yourself with animals. Okay. Because his spirit will not dwell with you if you do. So that should be the most important message you get from today.
You'll no longer be human.
Yeah.
How can that?
He created, Yahuwah and Yahusha, they created us according to every kind. So humans according to their kind, plants according to their kind, animals, so on and so forth. When you mix kinds, you become something that's not prescribed by the Father and the Son. That is not a creation of them.
To be.
Yeah. So hopefully this is a message that was a baraka to everyone that listened. And please put on the comments of the part 3. If the video didn't go through, we can always redo the part 3, and I'll find it on YouTube. I think someone has it uploaded on YouTube, the disc 3. So if I have to, I'll redo it again. So thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your new moon day to our brothers and sisters in Yahuwah Almighty and Yahushua Messiah. Shalom.
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 Thank you, Doug.
You're welcome.